What's going on, my beautiful governors? Welcome to a new Rise of Kingdoms video. Today I will give you 5 tips that will help you a lot in the long run. The reason why I call these secret tips, because there are no information to find out about these stuff in the game. Without further ado, let's start with number 1. The first thing is the movement speed trick. I'm going to explain it with an example. Let's say for some reason I want to walk here. This place is my alliance territory, but this one belongs to another alliance. These two places are basically the same place, so there shouldn't be any time difference rather than maybe 1 or 2 seconds. But now look at the difference. I do this, 2:30, and I do this, 1:55, 1:56. Like, you see the difference, right? So what does it tell us is when you are going to move to some place with your troops, what you're gonna do is to first target to your alliance territory. Let's say I want to go to this shrine of honor. I don't want to do it like this because this shrine belongs to another alliance, so this is not my alliance territory. What I want to do is I want to go here first, then I want to move here to reduce the time that my troops spend by walking. This is a super helpful tip. Do not underestimate it. I think it is super helpful and everybody should use it to save more time during their gameplay. Tip number 2 is T1 siege units. There are absolutely no reasons for you to train any siege other than T1 or T5. You can train T5 to fill rallies and garrisons if the garrison captain is something like Yi Sun Sin, but anything related to gathering, you should use T1. There are a few reasons for that. Number 1 is lower tier troops are always move faster than higher tier ones. Let me show you this with an example. Let's say I want to farm this wood tile. If I use my T1, it says 1 minute and 15 seconds. But if I use my T5 instead, 1 minute and 40 seconds. I don't have any T4s or T3 siege units, so I cannot compare them. But you see the difference, right? You got the main idea. When you are walking to a tile, you always want to use T1. And second thing is, if you are in a KVK and your enemy has a chance to kill farmers, you don't want to spend your resources to heal that T5 or T4 siege units. You prefer to heal T1 units because the healing cost is a lot less. And this is another reason why you should train T1 siege over T2, T3 or T4. Yes, if there is an event like this, for example Warpath, it says train 2000 tier 2 or higher siege units, of course you will train tier 2 ones, but later you can upgrade those to T5 and use that T5 ones to fill rallies and garrisons. Tip number 3 is Commander's Page. As you know, in Rise of Kingdoms, talent trees or equipment stats only applies to primary commander, which means there is no need to have a talent tree or any equipment on your secondary commander. However, this is not true when it comes to Commander's Page. These buffs also work when they're equipped by the secondary commander. So let's say I'm using a Guan and Alex March. If I do this, then both of these buffs, this 1% troop attack, 1% troop defense and 1% troop health, doesn't matter if Alex is a secondary, they all will apply to that march. I felt like I needed to mention that because there are no indicators that it does work for the secondary commander too until you test it and check your troop buffs. And if you guys think any of the information was useful or helpful so far, a simple like and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Tip number 4 is about Mysterious Merchant. I just love her. You can buy tons of stuff with just resources, materials, gold stars, speed ups and all that. So having her in my city as much as I can is super important to get more and more value. As you guys know, time to time she appears in your city for 2 hours only, then she goes away, but there is a trick to call her back instead of just waiting. She usually comes back when you finish a building upgrade or complete a technology research or when you claim trained troops. At some point you will have max buildings, max technology, so all you can do will be claiming trained troops to get her back. And that's why you should never ever claim your siege units if Mysterious Merchant is already in your city. Siege units is the least important units. You don't fight with them, you just gather with them. So you don't need to rush and you don't need to train as much as you can. So what you do, when she is away, you just wait. Just like that, boom, she is back. Now I keep purchasing anything that I can purchase with resources, and that's super helpful. It doesn't work 100% of the time. It works like 90 to 95% of the time. If she just left your city, So let's say merchant is gone, you wait for like a 30 minutes or so, then you claim those troops and voila, she's back in your city. So don't forget to use those trained siege units to bring her back faster than usual. Last but not least, we are going to talk about skipping a commander's skill. In Rise of Kingdoms, you should try to skip some skills of certain legendary commanders to make them good enough for open field with minimum investment. For example, a 5515 Nebu or a 5115 Tomyris. To do that, we have two options, and let's take Nebu for example. I can lock the first two skills, max those, then try my luck with the last two skills. So I max first two, the last two skills are 1-1, and I try to not land on this third skill. The benefit of this approach is even if I don't get lucky and some of my skills lands on the third skill, I still have my first two skills max, so he is still somewhat usable for open field. But the downside of locking and maxing these first two skills, I'm actually increasing the chance of my skill upgrades to land on the third skill, the one that I don't want to upgrade. So what is the best thing to do? In my opinion, the most optimal thing to do is to not lock any skills and just upgrade. So every single skill is level 1 and you try your luck as long as you have skill resets, which is this small scroll that lets you reset the whole skill upgrades of a commander. The reason is, even if the upgrades don't land your first or second skill, you can always reset and try again. But if you are out of skill resets, maxing first two skills and then hoping for the best might be the better call, because like I said, at least you will have first two skills maxed, so he will still be usable in the open field. Remember to tell me if there were any tricks that you didn't know, because depending on your answers I will make a part 2 or not. By the way, we are in pre-KVK at the moment, Season of Conquest Heroic Anthem, we have some crazy opponents. Once we are in the KVK map, I will make the most optimal Crystal Tech upgrade order for free-to-plays and low spenders video ASAP. But if you haven't played Season of Conquest at all, or you are not sure what you are doing, you should watch our recent Season of Conquest guide for general information about that KVK format. Thanks a lot for watching, I see you guys on the next one, bye.